Good Monday morning. This is the 19th, I think it's the 19th week of the year. I got to check. But what it is, today is the 15th of August. Now, actually, it's not, okay? You know that. I'm doing this much earlier, very early in the morning. Right now, it is 4:30. I've been up for about an hour. And today's the Feast of the Assumptions, August 15th. And for Passionists, at least in this end of the world, but I think it's worldwide as well, this very sacred day for us, because this is the day for the vast majority of us in which we took our vows as Passionists. And for me, this is the 60th anniversary when I took my vows as Passionist in Pittsburgh. August 15th, 1962, 60 years ago. And I think for us, for my fellow Passionists, this is probably as sacred a day as ordination, which for me was 7 years later, in May, the end of May. Okay? And I think it's because it's after the novitiate you really become a full-fledged Passionist. You acquire not just your habit, but the sign. The sign. Up to that point, you wore the cassock habit, but not the sign. You wear the sign. And you know what I'm talking about? Well, it looks like a badge, the sign. And you get the rosary, okay? The full habit upon the pronouncing of the vows. And I think what it is so sacred because from that point on, though you're still in student life, you're still 7 years from ordination. You're as fully a Passionist. 1 minute after that, you took your vows as somebody who's been around 50 years. You are a Passionist. And you have to understand in religious life, there's a primacy, as it were, to the order you belong to, not the function you play within it. So a brother is equal to a priest, you see? It's equal. You are a member, you are a Passionist, and you happen to be a brother, or you are a priest. And I have to say, when I think of my own religious identity, I think of myself as first and foremost a Passionist, then a priest, not the other way around. The priesthood is the function I got called to perform within the Passionist community as a member of the Passionists, even though it's been in a way that I could have never imagined, not 60 years ago. I think of that a lot, that 60 years ago I fully believed that I would live a monastic life the rest of my life. And that's exactly why I joined the order. I was drawn to its monasticism powerfully. I felt called to the priesthood, but it wasn't in my heart. I felt this was God's calling me. Honestly, I mean that. It's not pious, trust me. The last thing in the world I wanted to do was a priest, but I felt called to it. But I was attracted powerfully to the Passionist. When I made a retreat in Hartford, 1958, 59, 57, what am I saying, 57, 58, I was overwhelmed by the beauty of its austerity. And that's the truth. And I thought, if you got to do it, in for a dime, in for a dollar. If you got to do this thing, then let's get it on. And that's the truth. The Passion, we're known for the austerity of our lives. We live fully monastically and apostolically. That's not done. You're either one or the other, you see. At that time in our history, we're the combined both. Since that has changed, I believe, a lot because of the council. And the church orders like mine had to decide, which are you? You can't be both. Something like that. I don't know. But I know we're not monastic in the full sense in which we used to be. Oh, believe me. And for me, I've lived not a monastic life, but a solitary life. That I never imagined 60 years ago. But it happened, and by choices and the blessings of the order. In a sense, I think of myself professionally, my professional career, which I would have never had without the Passionist. I was the dummy of the dummies in high school. Oh my God, oh my God. I was so grateful to graduate from high school. When I'm going to tell you the truth, I didn't know I graduated until I opened up and saw the diploma because I was flunking math for the third time. Trust me, okay? And then the order saw something in me. They saw that I had a philosophical abilities, and they nurtured it. And then they allowed me, to go on to grad school. And then the biggest thing they did, I remember Father Norbert Dorsey was the provincial consultor at the time in charge, okay? And I would say, he sprung me loose. He told me to go out and find a job anywhere I could find it, meaning a career. Instead of coming back to the monastery, go wherever you need to go. Follow your career. They never did that in the past to anybody. I don't know anyone else that they said that to. And I went to Bellarmine College. I lived with the monastery, in our monastery there, Passionist House, but that was a Western province, so I never really came under even the superior. I could go and come as I wanted, you see. And then I asked when I got the job here at SLU, back here at St. Louis University, if I could live by myself. We had the retreat movement here, the retreat house, and I didn't want to live in a retreat house. I felt a real need to assert more and more independence, to assert independence in my life and responsibility for it. So I have lived, in a sense, I've lived on my own now, here in St. Louis for 33 years. Just a solitary life. My biggest companion is Lily, my dog, who's snoring on the couch right now. Yeah, I live a solitary life. But then again, that's monasticism. I have to say, this time of the day, early in the morning, I still get up at 3 o'clock. In the monastery, we used to get up at 2. Remember, when we were novices? Yeah, we chant the Divine Office. I don't chant the Divine Office, but I do get up. I say the office, the prayers in the morning, the lauds in the morning. And I think about the day, and I love the silence of the morning. That's the passionist in me. I love its silence. I love to meditate quietly. My way. Thank you, Frankie Sinatra. See? Quietly. When the sun comes up, the day's busyness takes over. But while it's dark, there's an eloquence in the darkness. There's a solitary beauty to the darkness. I have to say that. And I love to be quiet. There is the monk in me. It'll never go away. I don't want it to. And I hope I have been a faithful passionist. It's been 60 years, And I hope I have done it. I wear my habit every time. Well, I can't say I don't wear it every day. I used to say it at Mass. I used to wear my habit at Mass, but I don't unless I'm at home here. When I say Mass, I do say a little Mass by myself, only on Saturdays, okay, because I don't have a public Mass at St. Mark's, okay? And I just wear my habit and a stole. Now, that's liturgically bad, okay? I should wear my vestments, and I should, and I do have them here. They were gifts to me at ordination from my friends at home, and I think I'll start wearing them again. To remember, there's sacraments of the family, sacraments of friends. But I do wear my habit and adjust the stole in the quietness of my dinner table. I have to say, it's liturgically probably as wrong as it can get, but piously, in terms of personally, it's the most intimate Mass I say during the week. Because I have surrounded with the photographs and pictures of my family, my friends, my expressions, those with whom I have walked this life, in the tenderness of love. That's the truth. My way. I think of Sinatra's famous song, My Way. And I say that, my way. But my way was a blessed way, blessed by the God, blessed by the church, blessed by the order. When I took my vows 60 years ago, I did not know that the adventure of grace and vocation and grace would move in this direction at all. It's impossible to have foreseen it. And that has occurred with the blessings of the outfit, I call it the outfit, the order. You have no idea how grateful I am for being called to be a passionist. And I do contemplate the passion of Christ as the wisdom of the cross. And for me, it is the only wisdom. I'm enough of a philosopher to know there's hardly any wisdom in the wisdom of the world because it cannot confront the horrors of death and evil. It can't. Only the cross of Christ gives meaning to life. I really mean that. I mean it deeply. I get that from being a passionist. We preach Christ crucified. See? Because we see Christ crucified. And the crucified Christ, the crucified community, the crucified world. That's the truth. It's the key wisdom. It's the key to wisdom. Christ gives us hope that in suffering and in death, nothing is final except Christ himself. Death will not conquer. In the end, life conquers through Christ and with Christ. Good Friday, Easter Sunday. And that's the truth. I'm so grateful to be a passionist. I doubt I would be a believer if I weren't a passionist, because I believe all things
in and through the crucified Christ.